All right, thanks for tuning into the EDNP Tone Systems YouTube channel. This is the demo of the EDNP Tone Systems Flex Pro X mod for the Boss BD-2 Blues Driver pedal. Let me explain the components real quickly to you. You'll see some new things here on the pedal that you haven't seen before. The control on the front of the pedal is a variable clipping control, and what that does is allows you to control the set of frequencies that are being sent to the clipping, or in layman's terms, the overdrive circuitry within the pedal. The reason that's important is because the pedal, like most other distortion and overdrive pedals, has a static value in it that sets that frequency for you. It's generally set at a very good level. It's a common level that everybody uses, and it works fairly well generically. But it doesn't always work with what you're playing at the time, the type of equipment you're playing, whether you've got single coils, whether you've got humbuckers, if you're using a Fender amp or a Marshall amp or a Randall amp or pick your amp, a PV amp. That's all going to change things, and it's going to change the way this pedal sounds within your system, and it might not be exactly what you want. So with the variable control, you have the ability to determine which sets of frequencies go through the clipping circuit, and more specifically, you get to determine how much low and low-mid frequencies go through that clipping circuit. You can add more in if you got single coils. You can take more out if you got humbuckers, which is fairly typical the way we use that pedal. And then you can really play with it and do things that might not seem right to look at it, but sometimes sound really good. So we're going to show you how that variable control works. The other control that you see here is a switch on the top, and that switch controls two different clipping circuits. The first set, or the first clipping circuit with the switch thrown to the right, as you see it right now, is the stock clipping for the BD-2. It's a symmetrical clipping circuit. It sounds really good. We like it. We kept it. And actually, with that switch thrown to the right, you're going to be hearing what the Flex Pro mod sounds like. So this video is really for the Flex Pro and the Flex Pro X. Once we get through all of the settings for the Flex Pro with the switch thrown to the right, we'll then throw it to the left, and that's going to engage a different clipping circuit. That clipping circuit brings in asymmetrical clipping, or gives you asymmetrical clipping, which is nice because it gives you even order harmonics, second order harmonics actually, that tend to sound a little creamier. That switch thrown that direction also gives you more volume out of the pedal, and overall it rounds out the tone a little bit more. So not a problem with it thrown to the right using the stock clipping. It sounds really good as well, but we really liked the difference in the tones that you get when you bring in the asymmetrical clipping. So those are the two things you see on the front. Additionally, there are trim pots inside of the BD-2 that we've added. And if you go to our website, we'll talk about that later on in the video. If you go to our website, we'll explain what those trim pots do, but they also give you this flexibility to really craft this pedal to your tone, your specific set of components, and your rig. So let's get into the demo real quick. I'm going to turn the pedal off. I'm going to normalize it a little bit. We're going to start with a lower gain and bring it up as we go. We're going to work with the variable clipping control, and then towards the end of the video, we'll actually bring in the Flex Pro X piece, which is the custom clipping circuit that we have on the inside. So here we go. Let's get started. Oh, sorry, should tell you, we're using a Fender American Standard Strat with noiseless pickups. We've got a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe with Warehouse Veteran 30 speaker. That's going into a SM57 mic that goes to our mixing console and then on to the recording equipment. And the only thing in the chain right now is the pedal that you see. We'll start with the neck pickup. So there's clean. So let's engage the pedal. We'll start with the neck and move to the middle and then to the bridge. I should say I'm going to be using the same chord sequences throughout this so that you can kind of not pay attention to what I'm playing, but listen to the different tones you're going to get out of this thing. Neck pickup. And we'll switch to the middle. let's go to the bridge. So you notice how that sounds a little thin, as it should for the bridge pickup, but very thin basically. So we're going to bring in some of the lower frequencies by using the variable clipping control. Notice how that takes some of the honkiness out of it. All right, we're going to boost the gain a little bit, and we're going to start working with a variable clipping control. I'm going to show you major ranges of that control. So I'm going to take it all the way to the right, I'm going to take it to the center, and take it all the way to the left, and you'll hear the differences depending on the pickup that we select. So we're going to start with the neck pickup, we're going to boost the gain a little bit, and I'm going to work with a variable control. What you'll notice as I pick individual notes out of here is that with the control thrown all the way up that direction to the left, we have much less distortion, much less overdrive and clipping happening to the lower notes, and that allows for more clarity. It allows you to take a neck pickup position or even a middle pickup position and have the beef of that pickup, but also get a lot of clarity out of it. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Can you hear the amount of overdrive and clipping that's happening to the higher frequencies and less to the lower frequencies? So we're going to switch now to the neck pickup, and then we'll go to the bridge pickup, and I'll be varying these controls. There's some settings that you're going to hear that are not going to sound good. I'm showing them to you so that you see the amount of control that you have. All right, middle pickup. So there's an example of a setting that you might not want to use all the time. You're using the middle pickup, which has some beef to it, but you've taken out so many of the lower frequencies that you kind of lose the flavor of that pickup. Plus, it gets a little ice picky at that point. Again, showing it to you because of the variability with that control. You have a lot of control depending on your rig. What I'm using right now, that particular extreme range, it really isn't good for the particular rig. Here we go with the bridge pickup. Sound real ice picky. All right, we're going to boost the gain even more here at this point so you can really hear this thing start to really go into overdrive. And we'll be moving the variable clipping control a bit, but we're not going to go to the extremes because it gets really crazy at that point with this rig. Again, with yours, your mileage may vary. But you're going to see how the different tones come out of this pedal as we boost the gain. Here we go, and we'll start with the neck pickup. We'll move to the I'm doing this, you see me changing the variable filter there. I'm bringing in more and more lows as I go between neck, middle, and bridge. So here's bridge. All right, let's bring in the new clipping circuit. We're going to keep the gain up a little bit so you can kind of hear what that's all about. We're going to flip over to the new clipping circuit. I'll show you the current one and then flip to the new one so you can kind of see the difference in volume and the difference in tone and how things clear up a little bit. We're going to start with the bridge pickup this time, and then we'll move to the neck. So here's bridge with the regular setting. And now with the custom clipping circuit. You see how that's a little creamier, a little fuller, and just everything blends a little bit better. So here we go. We're going to go between the pickups. Now to the middle. And finally to the neck. Love this pedal turned up. It's really nice down with lower gain, a lot of clarity. It's great for rhythm work at that point. For lead work, it's really great when you can crank it up a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed this this demo. Come see us at EDNPLLC.com, and you can see a lot more about the different mods that we do to various pedals, and you get a lot more information about each mod. We go into pretty good detail on all of them, about what we've done, how we do it, what the different controls do. Again, hope you enjoyed it. Visit us at EDNPLLC.com and come back on YouTube to see our other demos. Thanks.